He's back. Yeah, you see everything these days is terrible. Even children of 13-year-olds smoking cigarettes. Sometimes I have it's terrible how people are, and you get the mother beside and saying nothing, encouraging the madness. Yeah, fear, the thief of humanity's. Fear, the thief of humanity's life. It may be necessary. It may be a necessary instinct that causes us to make smart choice to flee from pain, danger, or struggle. But we must be wary of it. We must be wary of it. More people find harm in life because of fear that benefit by it. Those who seek to make fear a positive thing are justifiers, not sages. Justifiers. I like that. Those are justifiers, yeah. They aren't champions of consciousness. Attempting to conceal fear as a friend is like forcing a wolf to be a pet. Soon the pet will eat us alive. Soon the pet will eat us alive. Declaring that we will master our fears is the first great leap towards freedom. The first great leap towards freedom. Our vitality, growth, and destiny all demand that we can couple fear. As so much hangs in the balance, let us better understand what fear really is. Yeah. Fear is the human motive of aversion. Fear doesn't help us commit to higher aims. It doesn't help us imagine greatness. Its sole aim is immediate release from threat, strain, or pain. It often becomes a by all means necessary approach to controlling any given situation, so that the body most often the ego, can feel safe and unchallenged. Fear was given to us as a motive to avoid physical harm and death. Physical harm and death. That is it. We are the ones who have perverted it into a tool for the ego's protection. For the ego's protection. Almost all the fear we experience today has nothing to do with physical threat. We have taken this impulse for safety and bastardized it into ego-driven drives to feel more emotionally comfortable. To feel emotionally comfortable. We've hacked its short-term nature into a long-term tool to avoid difficult circumstances in order to satiate our base desires for approval. Fear has become a crutch for emotional weakness. And, as with all crutches, we shall fall slave to its use unless we once more condition our strength. That's true for any crutches that we have. We have a lot of crutches. Some people have a lot. Some have less. Most people do not like to discuss fear because it inevitably exposes the ugly truth that we are more often fleeing from ourselves than from actual danger. The modern worries that we succumb to are simply byproducts of our own misuse of this primitive motive. A primitive motive. Almost all fear we experience today and its resultant cowardly thinking and behavior is just imagined social drama created by unchecked mental impulse and conditioning. We are afraid of being rejected, isolated, and abandoned. Not of being eaten alive. And those kinds of social fears can be overcome by willful practice. When someone says, "I'm fearful of public speaking," they do not mean that they are worried someone in the audience is going to attack them physically. Rather, they mean they are afraid of failure. Their issue is a challenge not of real safety, but of emotional comfort. If they were speaking more accurately, they would say, "I am afraid of how I will feel emotionally and whether I will live up to my expectation of myself and the expectation of those who put me on stage. I am afraid of how I will look. I am afraid that I may not do well. I am afraid I will lose my place or draw a blank. I am afraid I will not be respected." Notice the order of these comments. It is not fear is running me. It is I am afraid. The I is leading the way. The ego is in charge. Naturally, we all struggle with free self-expression and we all want to do our best. We would love the power to be ourselves on the world stage at all times. For sure, that's the goal. Our great challenge is that in an unconditioned mind, fear is louder and more intense and immediate than our desire for self-mastery or for contribution to others. Fear steals thunder from the more noble drive to ascend to our highest self and make our greatest difference. We are more alert to the sound of dogs barking than angels singing. What can be done? The cost of fear. To tame fear, we must first recognize its horrid effect on our lives. What comes of us when we are motivated by fear? What comes of us when we are motivated by fear? We lose our emotional center and mental character. Our thoughts become frazzled and riddled with anxiety. All conscious thinking, intelligence, and behavior narrow to self-protection, limiting our capabilities to be open and strong. Open and strong. Our natural tendencies for genuine self-expression are paused, and our ability to act to fulfill our dream is paralyzed. When we allow fear as a constant in our lives, our ambitions and behavior become small and constrained. We become timid and stressed. We withdraw. We become cowards. Life's energy atrophies, all things trapped in the cage of fear. Smother and die quickly. Smother and die quickly. This is not a philosophical discussion. Real tangible harm comes from allowing fear to overrule our drive to personal freedom. Some people become such slaves to fear that they constantly feel powerless, inferior, ready to give up. They allow others to hurt them because they do not speak up for themselves. I'll be back.